Fun Black History Fact number 1. Inoculation was introduced to America by a slave. Few details are known about the birth of, I can't pronounce this man's name, but it is assumed he was born in Africa in the late 17th century before eventually landing in Boston, one of 1,000 people of African descent living in the Massachusetts colony. He was a gift to the Puritan church minister Cotton Mather from his congregation in 1706. He told Mather about the centuries-old tradition of inoculation practiced in Africa. By extracting the material from an infected person and scratching it into the skin of an uninfected person, you could deliberately introduce smallpox to the healthy individual, making them immune. That sounds familiar. Considered extremely dangerous at the time, Cotton Mather convinced Dr. Zabdiel Boylston, these names, man, to experiment with the procedure when a smallpox epidemic hit Boston in 1721 and over 240 people were inoculated. Opposed politically, religiously, and medically in the United States and abroad, public reaction to the experiment put Mather and Boylston's lives in danger, despite records indicating that only 2% of patients requesting inoculation died, compared to the 15% of people not inoculated who contracted smallpox. His traditional African practice was used to inoculate American soldiers during the Revolutionary War and introduced the concept of inoculation to the United States. I'm glad they have this on here. I'm pretty sure pretty much everything we do was probably introduced by a slave somewhere along the line. But you know, that ain't none of my business though. What's up, you guys? It's Black History Month! So, I am back and I have a book haul for you guys. This actually came in the mail, not yesterday, yesterday was Sunday. It came in the mail on Saturday. I already opened it because I am impatient. And I have a box of books from Book Outlet. So the first book that I want to talk about that I don't actually have here with me because I am planning on reading it, so I brought it to work and it is now in my locker, is Fledgling by Octavia Butler. It is sci-fi. It is about vampires, and that is all I know. The Boy Who Drew Monsters by Keith Donahue. I think it's about this boy who had like a near-death experience and now he's drawing monsters, but the problem is the monsters are probably going to become real, and it sounds like a really good book and I just had to get it, so I got it. Jay by Howard Jacobson. It was shortlisted for the Man Booker Prize. I'm not really sure what it's about, but I think that it is dystopian-esque or post-apocalyptic-esque. All I know is they're living in the world where they can't say J, words that begin with J, so I'm highly intrigued. The Monstrumologist by Rick Yancey. Rick Yancey and I, we don't have a really great relationship. He wrote the Fifth Wave series. I DNF'd that shit. However, a lot of people have told me that this series is really good. Most of them haven't read the Fifth Wave, so they can't compare it. So I'm going to trust them. And I could have gotten the whole series because it was on Book Outlet, but I just decided just to get the one book, just in case, because y'all know how I is. Inside a Silver Box by Walter Mosley. I've only ever known Walter Mosley to be like a thriller writer, but this is somewhat of a sci-fi book. I'm not even really sure. All I see is powers in a silver box, and I see a black man in what appears to be a white woman. So I'm very curious as to what this is about, and I really, really, really love the cover. The Madman's Daughter by Megan Shepherd. I have been eyeing this book since it came out. It seems kind of Imitation of Life-esque in the sense that it's a daughter trying to get away from her father's whatever he is, whatever she's ashamed of that he is. Maybe he's crazy, maybe, I don't know what he did. I could be wrong, so if you've read it and you know what Imitation of Life is, and you can tell me if I'm making a correct comparison or not. 47, also by Walter Mosley. I know that this is, of course, set during slavery. You can see the slaves on the cover. But it is about a slave who doesn't age. I don't know. Zeros by Scott Westerfeld, Margot Lanigan, Deborah Biancotti. The tagline at the bottom says, "Every power has a price." So that's really all I need to know. I really like Scott Westerfeld's writing, and I'm guessing it's just about people with powers and then something happens. Or maybe it's short stories, or maybe it's not short stories, or maybe each person, maybe it's 3 point of views and then each author is writing from I I don't know. But I'm gonna read it eventually. Sister Mine by Nayla Hopkinson. This is sci-fi. She is an author that I just hauled. I hauled Brown Girl in the Ring, which I'm going to be reading this month. Faux show. If anybody knows if this and Brown Girl in the Ring are part of a series, let me know. I'm already going to be reading Brown Girl in the Ring first because I know that that came out first, but I'm not sure if they are related to each other even though the covers match. So yeah, let me know. The Murk and the Midnight Hour by Jane Nickerson. This is book 2 in the Strands of Bronze and Gold series. I think I said that right. I'm kind of sad that the Strands of Bronze and Gold book that I have is in regular hardcover. I wish it was turtleback like this one, but what are you gonna do? In true shameful book buying booktube fashion, I have not read this first book. However, it was turtleback. I had to get it. Yes, I was going to die if I did not. And last but not least, we have On a Clear Day by Walter Dean Myers. Walter Dean Myers is one of the very first African-American authors I was ever introduced to. It looks like one person from every race. So I'm judging a book by its cover, but this looks like a black guy, black girl, white girl, Asian girl, white guy, and they could either be Hispanic or Indian. He could definitely be. You know what? This is really I'm racial profiling. Let me stop. But anyway, let me read the back. The world is their area of influence. The goal is more money for their pockets. They always win. They don't expect any opposition until a bunch of teens show up. So, I'm really excited. And the cover, man, the cover is so nice. And then this turtleback, I just love it. I love it so much. So yeah, you guys, that is all that I have for you today. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, leave them down below in my belly, and I'll talk to you guys later.